Dear Oregon State, my name is Amber Peschka. I'm a senior on the track and field team, majoring in digital communication arts, and I'm gay. First of all, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to play a sport at the collegiate level. Thank you for helping me grow over these past 4 years. And thank you for teaching me how to take pride in who I am. When I first arrived here at Oregon State, I saw this as an opportunity to be a blank slate. I took a chance on myself and who I was so I could finally be the person who I am and wanted to be. I wasn't sure how things were going to go, but I took a leap of faith because in my mind, whether or not people accepted me, I needed to be true to who I was. Being who I was wasn't easy in the beginning, and it still isn't easy now, but each day I'm better. Each day I get less and less afraid to say who I am. Each day I get less and less afraid to be who I am. Part of that is due to being on the track team. Being in Oregon State athletics, I know that I have support and that I have a place and a platform to set an example and be myself, so others know that it's okay to be whoever you are. But I didn't build that strength on my own. I had help. I had support from my teammates, my friends, and my family. As of right now, and as far as I know, I'm the only out student athlete at Oregon State. And that, my friends, is a lonely world. I know there's others out there. There's always others out there. But they're not ready, and that's okay. I am trying to show them that it is okay to be yourself. Because I know I would want my younger self to be confident and proud and carefree like I am today. It doesn't happen overnight, but knowing that you have teammates and peers and faculty members who are there for you is so important. To have someone to talk to, because yes, we all have problems and they vary, but my problems with life and handling certain relationship situations is going to be different than others. For the first 3 years that I was here, I never wanted to lift my head in my own team's locker room because I didn't want anyone to get the wrong idea or impression about me. I wanted to be respectful. I wanted to destigmatize what a lesbian is, and that every girl we see is one that we want. And that's not true. It took me 3 years to know that there are other faculty members who are gay like me. It took me 3 years for me to have a program for LGBTQ and ally student athletes and faculty to talk about issues and learn about LGBT community. It took me 3 years to truly be comfortable with who I am at Oregon State. It took 3 years too long. The thing is that no one should have to wait any amount of time to be who they are. I know as a student athlete it can be difficult to be who you are in sports because you want to represent the university well, and you're afraid that people will see you and judge you and where you're from. And instead, the university, and especially in athletics, differences should be celebrated. We are told that athletics are the front porch of this university, so we should be taking that opportunity to show off the amazing diversity that we have among our student athletes. I felt like I couldn't reach out. I didn't know how people supported me in athletics. Maybe because we never talk about it. We never really actually acknowledge the differences that there are. So we as athletes stay in the shadows because we don't feel comfortable enough that our athletic department has our backs. We don't know if our peers have our backs. And when you feel like the one place that is an escape for you, athletics, isn't a place where you can be yourself, you hold back. For me in the beginning, it was about keeping quiet, putting my head down, and being there for the sport. I didn't talk much about being a gay student athlete and how I felt alone. I didn't know how to reach out or who to reach out to. I think that it helped having a girlfriend at the time because I could talk to my teammates about relationships, but it never was about being who I was, which in some ways was a good thing. I was surrounded by people who didn't really care who I was dating, they just wanted me to be happy. But we never really talked about how it is different than being straight. Don't get me wrong, I talked to them about being gay, but never about how I felt alone. how I felt like I couldn't talk to my coaches or anyone in the athletic department. I was better at being myself, but I still never felt like I was being me. After my freshman year at OSU, I decided that I wanted to start doing things for myself a little bit more. So I decided that I was going to cut my hair. I knew that cutting my hair meant that there was repercussions, but I wanted to try it and see if it was something that I enjoyed more. And I did. I've kept my hair short for 3 years now, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made. I feel more like myself than I ever did. Of course, doing something for me meant that I was going to have to sacrifice somewhere else. I started to hate public bathrooms, and I still do, because going in there meant that other people might be uncomfortable with me. And although that shouldn't matter because I know who I am, that is the way I thought. I get called sir constantly, and that's because society has taught us that boys have short hair and girls have long hair. But I've started to understand that people think what they want. But I have to be me no matter what. I've had friends stop talking to me because I am gay. I've had parents who have forced my friends to stop talking with me and hanging out with me. I've had my own sister treat me differently. People wonder why it's so difficult to come out, but you never know how people react. When you get treated a certain way, and when you don't feel like you are represented or heard, you can do 2 things. 1, you can stay quiet, or 2, you can create change. For the longest time, I thought the best way to handle things was to stay quiet. It took me 20 years of my life to finally learn that it's okay to be me, and it's okay to speak about how you feel. It's okay to dress how you feel. It's okay to love who you want to love. Being gay doesn't define me. It is a part of me, but it doesn't represent me as a whole. I wanted others to know that too. I started talking to my teammates more, and I started talking to people within the athletic department. And in the end, I've educated a lot of my friends. I've helped others come out. I've helped and started and am the president of Bees Be True, which is an LGBTQ and allies event for student athletes and people in the athletic department. It's held twice a term to educate and learn about the LGBT community. I am not as afraid to go in public bathrooms. I don't care as much about how I dress. I have been a part of a lot of changes at OSU this last year, and I decided that it was time for me to lay a foundation. I want to create opportunities for other athletes who are like me. I want people to have more than I did. I want their experiences to be one where they can be themselves and feel good about it. I want them to know that OSU isn't ashamed of who you are. Your peers love you for who you are, and as long as you're being you, you will be a lot happier. I can leave OSU knowing that I left something for others, that I started a conversation, that I presented opportunities. I can leave knowing a little more about myself. I'm not ashamed of who I am, and even though it isn't easy at times, it's my path. It's my story, and I get to tell it how I want.